Okay, folks, we all love a good water park when we go on holiday, don't we? And welcome back to Lee from Grove Farm. As I say, we all love a good water park when we go away on holiday. Well, back in the 1970s, 80s and 90s, you would have loved this place. Well, I say you would have loved this place. Yeah. If you was brave enough to go to it anyway. Out in the States, the great the Action Park in New Jersey. Sadly, you would leave with bruises, perhaps scars, perhaps with a broken arm. And with the people that sadly lost their lives there, God rest their souls, because sadly 6 people did lose their lives there. Let me take you back to the beginning. Where it all began. With a bloke called Gene Mulville. He was the owner of the Great American Recreation. It was a ski resort. Sadly, in the summer, there was no snow. So, no money. So, he had this idea. Let's build an alpine slide. So he built an alpine slide amongst the rocks that people love to go to. Bearing in mind, the carts weren't very safe. And sadly, a gentleman lost his life on it. He followed that up by building 2 water slides, then a go-kart track. Then he went big then. He split the park into 3 different spaces, which had different activities in these 3 different spaces. All dangerous. Very dangerous. Because he had this philosophy that he wanted it to be like skiing. People had to be in control. One of which was one of such rides was a cannonball loop that went upside down. Which he didn't get done properly. He went to the local what do they call them? local engineer that had no experience in such thing, and had him built it. Gene actually wrote the designs down himself on a serviette and sent it to him and said, "This is what I want." So they built this loop-the-loop slide, and they get it built. So they sent the crash dummies down it. Which didn't go very well, because at the end, the head of the crash dummy was not on it. But no, Gene had this idea that somebody had to go down it. So who did he pick? His son, to test it out. His own son. So obviously his son was quite business-wise at that time, and said, "Dad, you want me to go down that? You give me $1,000. So obviously Gene had to give him $1,000. I think he was only something like 14 or 15 at the time. But obviously Gene was raking in a fortune at this time. So the son tried it, but he tried it with a full hockey gear on. So when they did actually start using it, people were losing their teeth. So they made a door on it for people to get out of it. But the teeth were still in the ingrained in the grooves. So people that were going over it was getting cut to bits. Then there was the Tarzan swing, where another gentleman sadly passed away because the river was absolutely freezing cold. You know? And he died of an heart attack. God rest his soul. God rest his soul. The kayaking experience. Yeah, people would... the rides was poorly designed, and they had underage staff working the rides. Underage staff, lifeguards. Nothing was ever built by professionals, you know. Yeah. So eventually lawsuits started going in to Gene, but he miraculously managed to get away with it all. In the end, the park closed through bankruptcy. But people was like the people that was living around the park was warning people before they was going into the park, you know, saying you don't want to go in there, you know, you don't want to go in there. So that is my little bit of story about Gene Mulville and the Action Park of New Jersey. And it was from 1978 to 1996. If you like it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to tell your friends all about my channel, and I'll be uploading another one very, very soon. Take care for now, guys. Stay lucky.